everyone, it's Pam from GlamJunkJournals, and today we are continuing on in my series, What Can I Create with That? Using this inspirational piece, this garment that I got at a thrift store. And so this is the second video installment in my series, and let me show you what I created just a couple days ago using some of this gorgeous trim. Now I did take off a bunch of the trim from the garment, and I told you guys this is my inspiration for the next journal that I'm working on. I just love looking at that. So I created this. This is a page for the current journal I'm working on, and it came about by accident, and I'll tell you how that happened, but let me show you this. This is a 3-tiered pocket page that has a total of 9 pockets, and you could even create more. So we've got a pocket here, a pocket here, on the back side, a pocket here, there's a pocket right there, and a pocket there, and on the inside you've got additional space for more pockets. So tons of ephemera and little tags and goodies you can add into this. So like I said, this came about by accident, and we're going to create another one because, as you guys know, sometimes these things that happen to you turn into the best possible outcomes. So this is a happy accident. So we're going to create another one of these today. So what I was doing is I had some embossed, this is cream colored cardstock, and I embossed it and I watercolored it because I wanted some of the pale pinks, and I sprayed it with Lindy's Glitz Spritz. This is like a gold, and I'm almost out of that. I'm going to need to get some more. So what I was doing was I was looking at the size of my journal page, and this particular journal is going to be a long, slender journal. So this particular piece that I measured is almost 10 inches long and 5 inches, and this is 4.5, almost 5 inches across. So what I did was I was, figuring out, how to fold this and do this other kind of stuff. And what happened was it tore. It tore right across some of the embossing. And as you guys know, when you emboss things, sometimes there gets to be little tears in where the scrapbook paper was embossed. So I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have to throw this out and start over. But then I started looking at it, I'm like, I'm not gonna throw this out. No way. So we're gonna create that accident again, and then we're gonna come up with this. Yay! All right, so going along my happy accident route here, right? I was folding this over like that, and then what happened was I don't know which way I was folding it, but it tore. So I'm going to basically make another one by tearing the paper across. Now, don't you love the way that gives the jagged edge? Now, granted, if you don't have an embossing machine, that's perfectly fine. I would just take a piece of scrapbook paper. No, excuse me, cardstock, not scrapbook paper. You need something a little bit heavier. It can be a book page if it's more on the sturdy side. That's why I like this cardstock. So there you go. I'm like, oh, this looks kind of cool. Let's continue on. So I also tore off the bottom because I do like that. See, there we go again. That jagged edge, and maybe I will incorporate that. So see how that has, kind of come apart. Oh, well, that's not a bummer. That's an added bonus, right? So we're going to go along there and get some of that. Isn't that neat? That's so cool. All right, so we're going to go along with that, and maybe I can get the same thing to happen on this side. Now, like I said, if you don't have an embossing folder and the embossing machine, I would just create some jagged tears across your page. And I'm going to do the same thing up at the top, and these are going to be the base for all the pockets. Oh man, this is really fun. Huh? Hope you guys are all doing well today. It's getting closer and closer to the Christmas. All right, so there you have it. Now, let me bring out my example and move this back a little bit, even though that's really pretty and I love to look at it. So what I did is along the sides, I did kind of tear these up, you know, distress the sides again, or excuse me, make some jagged edges on there. And that's totally optional. This is just kind of the whole vibe of the next journal I have going. It's kind of going to be a shabby chic grungy look with you know, a lot of the pale pinks and the creams, so I'm really excited about that. So we're going to continue on here, get this going, and the more jaggedy the better. Oh man, so much fun. Don't you guys love to just tear paper and do that kind of stuff? So awesome. So what I did, let me move these little bits out of the way. So what I did on my example, let me remove some of the goodies that I have inside here, and I'll show you the basis for the pocket that we have going here. See, look at all this, look at all those yummies that were on the inside. Oh, what I did in between these two is I added an envelope, and this is a vintage envelope. I have quite a collection of vintage envelopes, and I love that someone wrote something on the back here. They did some addition. And this is dated 1944, and I just love that. So I wanted to put another one of those in between my little sandwich here. So what do I have? Where is my envelope here? Here it is. Here's another one. Let's see what this says. 1915. Oh, and what is on the back? I can't even read it, but I don't care because it's cool. So we're going to put that in between my sandwich. So let me get out my example here, and we're just going to fold it up like that. And I think that is cool, the different sizes. Now this one, as you can see, along one of the sides, the envelope comes all the way almost to the end. Now, I don't know if I want this much extra space. That is something that I'm going to have to think about. And I think what I'm going to do is add another envelope. And I think I have one right here. Hold on just a second. I don't know if I do. Oh no. Oh. Well, hold on one second. Let me just go grab an envelope. Stay with me. Don't leave. They're right over here in the corner. Okay. I got these off of eBay. And I don't know if you guys have checked out eBay, but they were selling a lot of envelopes. Check that out. And you did have to bid on them. And a lot of times I think what people are doing is looking for the stamps. Now, I don't know anything about stamps. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I like the envelopes. So I'm gonna grab another one. Ooh, that one looks really good. Okay, we'll use that. And we're going to use both of these envelopes. Oh, cool. So I think I am going to put our little sandwich together like that. Oh, Now, if you don't have an envelope, that's okay. I would use a different coordinating piece of cardstock because I like the varying look of these two. I like the contrast. I think that looks really, really fun. Now I am going to see where these envelopes open. This one opens along the side there, and so does this one. So we're just gonna glue these together. Yay! Now, another thing to think about is how long and how wide do you want this to be? It can be anything. This one, like I said, is really long, like 10 inches. I'm gonna make this one a little bit shorter just because I like variety in my journals. I like pages that look different and have different lengths. So this is gonna be 8 and probably about the same width, almost 5 across. Now let's think about this. Okay, before I'm gonna glue these together, I'm going to distress the edge of where I tore this out. And I'm gonna use my distress ink in the walnut stain. I think that that is just gorgeous. So we're gonna go around this real quick. Go along the seam there. And I love that scalloped edge. Isn't that cool? Oh man. All right, I'm gonna do the top one here. When I first got my Sizzix Big Shot Plus, now what that is the plus means it's bigger, it's larger, but the Sizzix Big Shot, and then they used to make the Cuddle Bug. I don't think that that's around anymore, but those are all great embossing machines. They're so fun and rather addictive, I've got to say. All right, now does this guy need some distressing, even though he's really old anyways? Sure, let's just distress these suckers up. I got to be careful with this one. This is dated, 1890. Now I can't even read that. Oh wow, what does that say? 1892. Oh, here's the stamp on the back. Can't read it. Oh well. All right. So I'm kind of making sure I'm thinking ahead of myself, which is good because sometimes I put things together and then I say, oh, wait, I should have done that, right? All right. So what about on the flip side? Let's flip this over. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to do this. So hang out with me while I distress the edges here. It's only going to take me a couple seconds. So we have been having great weather here. Nothing to speak of so far as snowstorms or, you know, ice storms or anything. I was actually sitting outside yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, with shorts on, trying to get my vitamin D, right? Because vitamin D is important. Okay, so, all right, back to the beginning. Here we are. Oh, does that look good or what? So now to the gluing. I am going to glue the center together. Now, granted, if you have one big old long piece of cardstock, you don't need to do that. But I am going to do that just because I want my envelopes to be the width of my other papers here. And then what I did on my example, this is the front, is I took one piece here and I layered the center over it, so creating a pocket right here, and then the bottom layer over that. So that's what we're going to do again right here. All right, and I am just going to do a little bit on the crease. And I'll show you why in a minute, because you don't want to glue all the way across, because then you won't have your little pockets, right? Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, that looks so good. Okay, now from there, what I did is I sewed a straight stitch all the way down the center, and that just, it connects everything. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, I would definitely make sure that these are securely glued down. And then also on the side, I sewed a decorative stitch just along the side to create my pockets. And that's what I am going to do right here. Now there again, if you don't have a sewing machine, I would make sure that the ends, so right along there and right along here, they're secure. And you could also do hand stitching, you know, that would work. That would be perfectly fabulous. Okay, so I am going to stop the camera for just a moment, and I'm going to sew my straight stitch and my decorative stitch along each side. So hold on and I'll be right back. Okay, I have finished my sewing, and let me show you what I did. Is I did do a decorative stitch on one side, and then same on the other, and then in the middle I did do a straight stitch. And another thing that I did off camera is I started adding little bits of papers. These are my offcuts from the journal that I'm working on, and I'm going to just continue on with a little bit of that. So I brought out a couple more pieces from my scrap bin. Love that. And we're just going to add those on there, and then we're going to finish up. And of course I have to incorporate this, because that's the whole premise of my video series, is using this for inspiration. So let's get going here. What does this say? They've got a massaggio. Ooh, there's this is an actual piece from a magazine. I love reading these things. And then this one says, aren't you sorry that you don't live in New York, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, so that you could get a, what? You could get an ironing board delivered for free? What? I don't know. But anyways, we'll use that. Because I just think they're funny. Just crack me up. So we're just going to add a little bit of that. And that there again adds to the whole, you know, distressed, vintagey look that I'm going for on this particular journal, and a little bit of grunge because it's, you know, old newspaper and that kind of thing. So I am just going to put that on there, and then we're going to finish up with adding, see that came off, because it's so thin. Oh well. Gonna take that. I can't read the whole thing, but that's okay. Oh gosh, those make me laugh. And then let's see what else. Put that back in my bin. I've got some more. I don't know if I'm gonna use that. Got this. That's really pretty. I don't know what to say. Or maybe on this side. Oh, that's really pretty. I'm gonna use some of that. Okay. You guys get the idea. We're just gonna keep adding and adding and adding, and I love the way that these little pieces of, you know, scrap paper and things just add so much to the finished look of your piece. I just think it's fabulous. I don't know where I'm gonna put this one though. I don't know. I haven't decided, so maybe I won't use that. All right, so from here, what are we gonna add? We're gonna add some fabric. You could also add buttons, sequins, any of a million different types of embellishments. Like on this one, I did add an applique, and I did add a little piece of lace trim to this tag. You get the idea. And then there's where I incorporated that gorgeous trim on the last pieces. I just sewed that along the back edge. All right, well, for this one, I was thinking maybe I could use that. I think that looks really good. You know, maybe along, I don't know, the side there. That looks really pretty. Or even this, look at this. This was an old pillowcase, pillow cover that I got, and I think that looks really good. But we're gonna cover up the aren't you sorry. Oh man. I don't know. Yeah, I think we're just gonna put it right there and not think too much about it. Now I am going to cut that down a little. Well, maybe I'm not gonna cut it down a little bit. I'm not sure. All right, we're just gonna add that and just not think too much about it, right guys? Do a little bit of Fabri-Tac there and move it around a little bit. And then you guys know how I like to scrunch up my fabric and also my paper, because I like things that kind of stand out from the page, and I think that when you scrunch things up like that, that's what it kind of does, in my opinion. So just put that on there. And there again, with this shabby chic, grunge, vintagey look, you know, all those things, I like that it's just kind of, you know, really no rhyme or reason. It just looks pretty there. And I like the way that folds under, so I may grab a little bit more off of the end of my Fabri-Tac here and smush it even more, just because I like that. All right, there you go. Ha! Okay, now let's add some of my goodies. So I pulled out some of my goodies that I want to use. And yes, I will cover up my distress ink. Yep. All right, look at that. That's a gorgeous, whoops, I had it upside down. Gorgeous piece of ledger paper that I sprayed some of that Lindy's Glitz Spritz on top, and then I embossed a rose on that. So I think that would go really pretty back there. And then I have one of my Dear Audrey letters. You guys remember these from my other journals. This was a yearbook. It was Audrey's yearbook, and people wrote all these really funny poems and sayings. So we'll put a Dear Audrey letter in there, and look at that. Oh, love that. Just how this whole thing is coming together is just so fun. And then I've got this cute, adorable, most beautiful postcard, and I want her on the front, so I'm going to put her, I don't know if I'm going to put her right there, front and center, maybe. Let's see. Got some tags. I don't know where I'm going to put that. And then on the little envelope that I created. So you guys get the idea. Look how that just comes together. And then on the inside, what I did want to point out is, since these pockets are visible from both, you know, the front and the back, I like the backs of whatever ephemera or tags or papers that I put in to be interesting on the back side. And I think that's cool. Like you can see this Dear Audrey letter, the back of the ledger page, the envelope, and the tag. So that's just something to consider, because I don't like white backgrounds. So if I had a tag that I stuck in there that had a white background, I would have to put something on back of the tag. But there again, that's personal preference. Oh, and then let's see, what else do I have? Got this little bit here. I don't know if that'll fit right in there. I think it will. And then maybe this cute little guy on the bottom. And I don't know if he fits in there. Yep, he does. Look at that. And then, last but not least, I cut a skinny piece of this trim, and I want to tie it around the exterior of my little page here. And I just think that adds so much to the whole thing, but I don't want to cover up her face. So I'll have to tie a little bow around the edge here. So there you have it. And then, you know, there again, I might add some additional embellishments to the tags and that kind of stuff. I don't know, but there you have it. Yay, a tiered pocket page that has at least 9 pockets to hold your ephemera, tags, papers, little goodies, whatever you want to put in your journal. So, yay! Aren't those cool? Love this. And they are both going to be going in my next journal. So, thank you for watching, and I appreciate every single one of you. If you would like and subscribe, that would make my day. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye!